Okay, so what is today? Wednesday the 13th of August. So on the way home from school drop-off, I saw one of those personalised plates that said Twin Flame. I've never seen that before. Well, why would I? I don't think many people would have Twin Flame as their license plate. So then I was like, okay, today's reading is going to be a Twin Flame reading. Shock horror. We'll do a you versus them. So I'll just get straight into how you view this person and the connection. So how does this collective view their twin and the connection? Okay, so starting out with self-love. Kind self-talk, body appreciation, union with self. So for you to see this person as self-love, you might think that they don't know why, but I'm hearing they're viewing you as loving yourself. But I don't say that in a negative way. I say it as in you've stepped into your power. I just heard. They're perceiving you as being quite confident. Although this is how you see them. Let's get a couple more. How does this collective see their person, please? So they could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could have memories tied to, like you went on a hot air balloon ride with this person, but also you see this person as quite smart, but an overthinker, someone that catastrophizes in their mind. They're someone that always thinks of the worst case scenario, and then when they actually voice their issue to you, it was never that big a deal. Whoa, red flags. So you might be seeing, you might be ruminating on the past with this person and all the red flags that you ignored, that you chose not to pay attention to because you loved them so much. I'm seeing that card that says intuition. The red flags you ignore will come back to bite you later, and that might be something that you're going over now. Red flags that were very apparent in this person, but that you hoped through working on things together that those things would go away, but they didn't. Balance under self-love. So for you to see this person as, you might see them as needing more self-love, that because they lacked that balance of masculine and feminine energy, they were chaotic, they didn't understand that the chaos in their life came from their lack of balance, their inability to see where they needed growth. Also, I just heard they might think that you see them as a red flag, which you are. I don't know why that came out. For some weird reason, my mind keeps saying to me, this is how they view you. So I know I'm pulling to see how you feel about the person connected to you, but that I'm hearing so strongly, this is how they view you. So if they can see you, if you have some kind of platform where they can view you, they have access to you of some kind, they're seeing you in your self-love. You appreciating yourself. You might have gone through a glow up too, but someone that really understands their value and knows their worth. You could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and maybe their perception of you is that you are an overthinker. Perhaps you have anxiety, but they also see you as quite intelligent, but that you see them as a red flag. It's almost like it's what they think It's like how they see you and what you think of them. But that you've really balanced your masculine and feminine energy. So whatever they do have access to, whatever they can see of you, they are seeing you quite balanced. You're still very soft. You have that nurturing feminine side to you, but you also are really doing something with yourself. Like you've either found your purpose or you're just seeming to be very, you've got control of your life and you're moving forward with it. Because sovereignty, and this is the card that when it came out made me think this is how they view you. Because I feel like I'm speaking to, which is quite common, the feminine collective. You've come into your sovereignty, and that basically just means that you, again, know your value, you know your worth, and you know that you are in charge of your reality. You are the queen of your reality, and you can make things happen for yourself. I am spirit, divine light. And that's to confirm air signs. So it might even be because air signs are very known to have the gift of the gab. So again, whatever kind of platform this person has access to, they can see you speaking your truth. And not just speaking your truth, living your truth. You're not someone that just gives advice, but you don't live by that advice. You practice what you preach. Red flag. Chaos, there we go. So under red flag, you've got chaos. So they definitely feel like you see them as a massive red flag, that all that they did was bring chaos to your life. And also that there was a lot of red flags and chaos in the connection that caused the separation here. They might have been quite controlling, but they could have seen the situation that you two were in as quite controlling. But I'm seeing someone that's almost reflecting on how they felt controlled by too much emotion. And then when they would go to people close to them for advice, those people, it was always easy to just say, you should just leave them. They don't make you happy. Instead of saying to them, well, what did you do in this situation? How can you resolve it? Relationships have ups and downs. How are you going to face this together? But their go-to is just leave them. And I just heard kitchen witch. Weird. And blood magic. That's weird. Maybe someone connected to your person did some kind of betrayal, deceit, lies, and secrets confirmed by water. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So the red flags in the relationship that caused the chaos, that caused you to feel betrayed by this person, caused so many emotions. Like you had to work very hard to get through all these emotions. Healing mother wounds. It's very strange. I feel as though you're going to see or feel yourself in both parts. It's kind of weird. It's like you can't... I keep going back and forth between this being how you view them and then it changing to how they view you. Or how they view this connection. Or how they think you view this connection. It's very strange. It's like these first 4 cards, it's like that's how they see you right now. And then this is what they reflect on. How they know that they were a giant red flag. How they brought only chaos into your life. How they had secrets and they were deceptive with you. And how they let their emotions get the better of them. There could be a lot of memories around the beach too, because I'm seeing there's a lot of... This balance card is in the sand. This sovereignty card, she's at the beach. This is the beach. There might be a lot of memories around the beach. And even the red flags, I'm seeing the, when you have to swim between the flags because of currents and rips at the beach and stuff. There's definitely... to me, this definitely feels like this is how this person sees you and sees the connection. It's like this half is how they're perceiving you currently. You're really in your self-worth. You're looking beautiful. You're speaking your truth. You know your worth. You know your value. You wouldn't fall for the same crap that they put you through last time. It's like they're seeing themselves as a massive red flag, that they're the ones that always bring chaos around. It's almost like they're coming into realization. They're having epiphanies and kind of realizing what they did to cause the breakdown of this connection in the first instance. And betrayal can be cheating. There may have been cheating in this. We'll break it down. But if there wasn't cheating, it's literally just sneaky behavior, always fibbing about things, just being generally having secrets and being deceptive, even if it's about how they talked about you behind your back to people, getting advice, but twisting the situation so that the people would validate how they were treating you, like to justify their ill treatment of you. But this person has a lot of emotions about this. I'm almost seeing someone drowning a bit in the emotions of this, but they could have some serious mother wounds attached to this. And I'm seeing as well, so say for instance, you're a sensitive soul, you get anxiety or you pick up on people's energy, or if you feel the energy change in your person, you pick up on it immediately and it makes you very sensitive. Say you're a crier, and when this person would be triggered, instead of soothing your anxieties, your sensitivity, they would mock you, or they would put you down, or it's almost as if your tears would make them more angry, more nasty, more callous, instead of being like, oh my God, my person's crying. This is awful. I hate making my person cry. It's almost like it made them nastier. And that can come from mother wounds that they know that they need to heal, because if they grew up in a situation where their mother was not treated very well by the father, and your person felt that they had to rescue them all the time, that would create this wound where when you were upset, it triggered that need of like, oh, I have to, this resentment of having to, one, rescue you, but two, that they were repeating the same behavior of how their father treated their mother, and you were reflecting that because of how they were treating you in those moments. I hope you're following along with that, but that was coming up so clearly in my mind. Crown chakra. So they are this whole top row makes me feel like this person really sees that you have changed a lot since this ended. And I think they're very aware that you would have reflected on your time together and gone through the red flags that you had ignored, the betrayal here, how much chaos this person brought to your life, how the emotions in this were just so like choppy and changey, and just it was all over the place. But their crown chakra, they're getting so many downloads about this right now. And even like say where I got that license plate that said twin flame on it, they might be getting lots of signs and synchronicities too. Their angels are trying to blast them with signs of you to make them realize, to sync up where they went wrong, and not just even with you in the connection, but where their choices have led them in life up till now because of their wounding. But they're definitely getting a lot of messages right now. They're going through an awakening. For that to confirm crown chakra, this person is definitely going through an awakening, and I'm noticing all the purple, and the purple is the crown chakra. So their angels, their spirit team, their ancestors are bombarding them. They might be having a lot of ascension symptoms too, like just very lethargic, not that anyone ever really wants to clean, but everything's just kind of being left. So their self-care's down. Their cleaning up their surroundings is down. They're just feeling very flat, sleeping longer, or just never feeling like they're getting enough sleep. But there's something about you two being on the same frequency. And again, with that license plate, that might even be a sign that you two are about to realign. Because if they've had all these realizations, if they're seeing you this way and they're going through all these activations and they're healing and they're awakening to what this really is and how deep this connection is, and going over their betrayal towards you, the red flags that they were the ones causing, the chaos they caused, the emotional ups and downs they caused here, if they're having all these realizations and they're going through this awakening, then I'm seeing someone who is very much in the process of growing up and understanding where they need to do work on themselves, which is very good. Yeah, very strange. I've never had it where it's come out where I feel like it's like sometimes it's you, sometimes it's them. All right, so let's see what's going on behind the scenes. What is going on behind the scenes, please? Let's break this down a bit. Getting a room, hotel, motel, suite, business, pleasure. So maybe this person has been, and there was one that flipped over. Where did that go? Here, fake friends. So I feel like there's been a situation in the background where they've really been caught out, or they've caught out someone around them that they felt was a close friend that turned out to be not so nice. Or as well, I'm seeing someone that they consider was friends with, but it was like also a situationship. Putting on a show. So this person, and red lipstick stains, under getting a room. So this person's definitely been caught out cheating. This is what's going on that you don't know. So there's something about this person being caught out in a situation, because this is hotel, motel, suite. I think they met up with someone and it got found out. And potentially even the friends, they might have shared friends with this person, and the person they did this to caused all those friends to turn on them. But they've put on this show, this facade that they're fine, that like nothing can touch them, that they detach very coldly and that they don't care. Love story. Once upon a time. So for that to confirm fake friends, to me that says that they really did let friends and outside influences interfere in this connection. They've let people's opinions. And also, let me say this, if they're going to people to get advice, they're going to relay what happened in a way that makes them look like they're justified in how they treated you. So that when they get advice from these fake friends that probably didn't even want you two together anyway, their advice would always be to leave you, because the way that they would retell the story would twist it to make themselves look like the victim. Putting on a show. But for that to confirm love story, I want to say that people definitely interfered here, and I think this person's very aware of their behaviour now and how they let people come in between you two. But again, they let that happen. That was their choice. And these are the things that they're awakening to. Bad choices, there we go. Putting on a show. So they're putting on this facade that they're like, nothing affects them and they're so chill and Mr. Positive and like, I let everything go, who cares, but it's all fake. And through that behavior, they made some really poor choices that they've basically just made a fool of themselves, and they've been embarrassed by it. They've been caught out, and through these situations, you've never been far from their mind, but it was almost like they made these terrible decisions as a way to distract themselves from what they did to you and how they lost you. But really, in the end, the angels are like, no, you're going to learn this lesson. And so they've been caught out cheating or doing something shady with multiple people. They've made terrible choices, all because all of these bad cards are surrounding this love story. All of this was to avoid this love story that they had messed up. With recording on the bottom, this person has made the choices that they've made, they're heavily reflecting on it right now, which good, because sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you're willing to do the work to be a better person. Maybe it affected their finances. Just want to get some messages quickly to see what that is that they would want to say to you right now, and then I'm going to get how you feel about this person. So how does this person connected to the collective feel? I didn't feel like I was on your level. You're a boss. I'm very insecure, which confirms for me how they see you right now. You're very beautiful, sitting. I just keep hearing the word beautiful. So they're obviously very attracted to you, but it's just the way that you carry yourself and even maybe how you speak. I love variety, but there's something about you I just can't resist. I hate that card. But that also kind of speaks to me about what lies beneath, where they've been caught out. So it's like they were dipping their finger in too many pies and they got caught out doing that. I'm on a spiritual journey. You have awakened me. Well, we know that. So they are going through crown chakra activations, but as well, they'll be going through symptoms where they just feel, whatever the symptoms are, whether they're feeling lethargic or they might have gotten sick randomly or they've hurt themselves or they're just overall, their overall energy feels very heavy. They're going through an upgrade right now. And it's making them very aware of their actions and about their connection with you. You were different from the rest. They didn't mean anything to me. I only want you. So again, they went to easier options because of their insecurities. So when they left you thinking their life would be so much easier without you in it, and that you might have even boosted their ego and made them think, well, if I can get her, I can get anyone. But then they very quickly realized that the people that they were getting after you were never going to match your energy. I tried to replace you. There you go. There's a lot here about them going to other people. So they tried to replace you, and I think whatever that situation was, they then did something shady to that person and was caught out. Infidelity of some kind, even if it was a situationship, but they had led that person to believe they were only, sleeping with them, but then they went and slept with someone else, or they were talking to someone else as well. And it was just, to me, I just saw mess, multiple parties involved, fake friends involved, receipts, like recording and stuff, like just really immature, pathetic stuff. But I tried to replace you, but it didn't work out because I'm madly in love with you and I was fighting it. They were fighting this connection. They thought their life would be so much easier without you in it, because while you two were together, there was so much chaos. The emotions were all over the place and there was so many red flags that they thought it was a toxic relationship. But then their angels decided to show them what real toxicity was in them, within themselves. It wasn't just the people that they were allowing around them, but they themselves were being toxic. I know this is divine. So again, I love variety, but there's something about you I just can't resist. So I tried to replace you, but it didn't work out because no one can match your energy. Very immature, but I think they're realizing this. You are so smart. You have me figured out. So if you yourself are feeling like in that first part, you do feel like you're picking up that this person is going through some kind of spiritual awakening where you might even be picking up their symptoms, So if you're feeling very lethargic, very heavy, you have no desire to do the things that you normally want to be doing, or they're not bringing you joy, you could very well, because if you're connected to this person, this is a twin flame reading, you would pick up on their energy. So you've been picking up their energy and feeling so flat and lethargic and not wanting to clean or look after yourself or cook or just all the basic things that you normally do to take care of yourself. Even posting, for instance. Because like I said, they must have access to you somehow. You're picking up on their emotions right now, how they're feeling because they're going through an ascension. I don't care what people think anymore. Well, we know that. I've been given bad advice because once again, they went and got advice from people that one, don't have their best interests at heart or yours, and two, they flipped the script so that when they were telling people what the situation was, it always made you look like the bad person. So it justified their treatment of you and the way they left you and so on and so forth. But I've been given bad advice. I'm listening to my intuition. I know you are the one. That this person always had to go through this to learn that they were the problem. And then tried to replace you, and they just can't because you're their twin. That can never be replaced. No one's ever going to match that energy. All right, what's coming next? And then I'll get how you view this situation. Too many. What is the High Priestess? I think you're very tapped in. I think you might even be aware. After a couple of days of feeling a certain way, you might have been like, this can't be my energy because I'm feeling so crap right now and I don't know where this is coming from. They keep trying to come out in chunks. Ooh. Yeah, Ten of Swords. So this person knows they caused a Ten of Swords here. They know that the way they handled you, handled the connection, during and after, stabbed you in the back, stabbed you in the heart repeatedly, and caused so much pain and suffering here. So there's an element of them needing to get over themselves because it's having that self-awareness to know what you've caused, the pain you've caused and your actions, and taking accountability for them, but then also learning from it, integrating it into your being so that you can be a better person, so that if they want to come towards you, they actually can come in with true accountability. Not if you were to express how you felt, they would get defensive. But the good thing about that being the first card out is that Ten of Swords, it's only up from here. So they might be feeling in the depths of despair right now, going over all the ways they hurt you and all the things that they've done wrong in their life, but also to you. But that's good because then once they have these realizations and they get through that part, that dark night of the soul, they can then decide what to do with those lessons and how to be a better person. But I think they're overwhelmed by their choices right now. Seven of Cups. So he's looking at all those cups and seeing all the different options, but the fact that they were pouring into all these different cups that didn't serve them instead of pouring into the one cup that was serving them. And as well, I'm seeing how if this person was very impressionable and took other people's opinions on all the time about their connection, but then the person they should have listened to, you, it was through in one ear, out the other. But then they would listen to other people's opinions that they shouldn't have, whether it's family or friends. Four of Pentacles. So that's to me, so you're that piggy bank and they're holding on for dear life. They cannot let you go. As hard as they've tried to let you go and distract themselves, they cannot let you go. Okay, so we have the Death in reverse. So they're avoiding change. But I think at the moment with that Death in reverse to confirm the Ten of Swords, it's more of them going into... For some reason, I'm feeling called to read the book that comes with this deck for that card, just because something's telling me. Yeah, so they're going through a rebirth. This chapter of pain and daggers in the heart is closing, and 10 is the end of a chapter. You're closing out that chapter. So the current chapter in your life has completed. Closure happens so new things can come through. So be ready to shed your old skin off and transform. Make a list of what you want in the next stage of your life. The death arrives when something in your life has ended and you are in a process before a rebirth happens. So they are going through that rebirth at the moment. Your inner wounds will heal. This is a sign to believe deeply that you can become any version of yourself as long as you let go of the old one. The Death card can also be interpreted as a physical transformation. So they could be working on their physical health, although if you're picking up these yucky, heavy symptoms, that might be something that they've slacked off on recently because they're feeling so heavy or seem to get enough sleep, so on. But for it to be in reverse, it's like this person's kind of in a bit of self-pity mode right now. They're feeling all the pain of this Ten of Swords, all the pain that they're feeling inside and all the pain they know they've caused and all the guilt and remorse and shame they feel. And they're kind of sitting in it right now and refusing to change. It's almost that I'm hearing that, what have I done? This person will never take me back. And that's not necessarily a bad attitude to have, just because they need to know the weight of what they've done here, but they also need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and be like, I have made some terrible choices. I've made mistakes. I've listened to the wrong people. Now let's do something about it. Let's go. Let's get going. I think they're a bit overwhelmed with what to do with this Seven of Cups though as well. There's like, they're thinking of so many different things, especially with that air card. If they're an overthinker and they're catastrophizing in their mind, they're thinking, should I do this? Or I could do this, or I could do, they're thinking of so many options and they can't make up their mind because they're so overwhelmed. Nine of Swords, they're so overwhelmed. Look at all the swords in their head. The Nine of Swords, they're up at night. They're not getting enough sleep. They're catastrophizing. It's causing them so much anxiety. For that to confirm the Seven of Cups, they've got so many things in their head that they're going over. Memories, what they did, bad choices, who they spoke to, the shitty things that they did after you, the shitty things they did to you. There's so much going on up here that they are overwhelmed with anxiety and they're sitting in the pain of it. And they're feeling a bit, woe is me right now. But they can't seem to let go of you. Queen of Pentacles. You are this Queen of Pentacles. And it's interesting how he's holding on so tightly. He does not want to let go. I just heard Domestic Goddess. So they might see you as this beautiful, nurturing queen who's got herself together, who despite what happened, has gotten themselves back on track. You might be a mother or a father. You could be a good cook. Someone that really made their house a home. Someone that was really warm and beautiful and loving and grounded. Just a soft, beautiful energy that was really loving. And of course, when they think of you and they see a Queen of Pentacles, they're just going to think, what did I do? What did I let go of? but they didn't really, because they're holding on for dear life here. And as well, I said finances could have been affected, and these two are pentacles, so maybe maybe they really caused you some significant financial loss here. Job, home. And if you are a parent and they caused you financial loss, job, home and stuff, but they see you as their happiness, the sun. They know that their happiness is with you, but right now they're sitting in a bit of self-pity. Four of Swords. So I think that they're in rest and recuperation right now. So it's like they're in this self-imposed isolation to get through all this. Especially if, so say for instance, when the separation first happened, you went through this and they were off, not a care in the world, distracting themselves, thinking their life was so much easier without you in it. That might be shitty to hear, but now it's like you're doing well for yourself and you feel fine and you're getting on without them just fine, and now they're going through this and realizing, what the F did I do? And going over, they're reminiscing so much about good times with you and how you were such a beautiful, caring, giving person, but then reflecting on how much they took and how badly they treated you, and their behavior since then too, that yucky behavior, that what lies beneath behavior. So they're having to go into solitude and really take stock of all the things that have happened in their life up to this point, and really reflect, do some self-reflection and work on, now that I realize how toxic I was, what am I going to do now to make this better? Because I want to be better. Alright, so let's see how you view them. How do you view them? Shaman. So you thought they were quite special. They might have been quite tapped in, but it might be something that only you really saw. That could have been something that they hid from other people. Plant medicine, Pachu Mama, sound healing. So again, you might see yourself in both parts, because for whatever reason I'm hearing that you are in both parts, which would make sense because you are one soul connected. You're twin flames and you have to balance masculine and feminine. It's just that I've never had that before. I've never felt that the collective and the person connected to them are actually coming up in both parts. But so they could see you as someone, maybe you do sound healing, but they might see you as someone that is, because I kept hearing grounded with that Queen of Pentacles, you might actually be quite, you might make herbal things, or like when I said you might be a good cook or a baker, maybe you utilize a lot of kind of plant medicine in the way you cook, trying to use fresh ingredients and things that are like going to really be good for your body, mind and soul. But that you see them as that kind of earth spirit, earth angel is what I just heard. Someone that's very connected. They might have even said things to you or made predictions about things or knew things about people without actually having evidence of these things, and then those things would come true, or they would say something to you and you'll go, I was just thinking that, how did you know? Because they're so connected. And that would be another thing, because if they've been distracting themselves from those abilities, and then their angels, their ancestors, their guides have been hounding them with signs to the point now where they cannot ignore it, that is a gift in them that they can no longer ignore. Soulmates. So you see them as a soulmate. But look at all that green. I think you have a lot of love in your heart for this person. And with all those trees as well, there's a lot about being grounded here. You might feel like this person, when they were balanced, were very grounded. They did have a lot of love. you did see that loving, sensitive side of them. Awakening. So you are tapped in. You know that they're going through an awakening. So if you are feeling some heavy symptoms right now, you believe that you're picking it up from them and that they're going through. Hot and cold. So you feel this person was hot and cold. So when they were balanced and grounded, they were loving, and you fell in love with them, obviously. But when they were cold, they were cold. So when they were hot and heavy with you, it was beautiful. But then when they were able to detach so coldly, they were nasty. And you go over that. It's like loving the potential of someone, but knowing that they also have this really harsh, if they can detach so coldly, then it's like if they don't heal that, if they were to try and come back, I don't know, I can't trust that they won't just leave again. Shaman. Family. So I think you saw this person as family. You wanted to have a family with them, but I think you believe family got in the way here. And as well before, remember I said for some reason I'm hearing kitchen witch or blood magic. You might feel like someone in their family has been doing some like dark kind of things towards you. Because for that to confirm shaman, it's almost like somebody's connected to them that you feel like has some dark energy. I just saw someone that comes across a fake empath. Someone that comes across like they're pure-hearted and only want the best, but in fact, there's actually malicious intent behind it. And perhaps there's even a cultural thing. I'm hearing some kind of cultural thing with that kitchen magic, kitchen witch, blood magic, prayers, some kind of thing where it's like they're sending you the evil eye, or they're actively doing things in the background to try and keep you two apart, which is not surprising. It's not uncommon with the twin flame journey, because there's always energies. They're not even conscious that they're doing these things to keep you apart, because you two are twin flames and they're trying to keep you from reuniting. All they know is that they don't like you, or they don't like the influence you have over your person, even though it's a good one. So they actively try to keep you two apart, whether it's advice, sending you the evil eye, doing some kitchen magic, blood magic. But there's something, for that to be under shaman, something's telling me that someone they're connected to, a mother, sister, aunt, someone in their family that is connected to them has been doing some things, and I don't think your person is even aware of it. And if that's the case, that could be a detriment too, because if you can feel that, if you're a high priestess and you can feel that energy, but if you were to say that to your person, they'd tell you you're crazy. It's a hard one. Soulmates. Betrayal. So again, they got betrayal as well. So you feel like, but they know that they betrayed you. So for that to come under soulmates, you're questioning, how is this person my soulmate when they treated me so badly? How is this person my soulmate? How we can't be compatible if this person is always lying and being deceitful. What was that? New beginnings, but you want a new beginning with this person. Healing. There's so much green. I don't think you're unaware that you still love this person. I think you're aware you still love this person, but I think the hot and cold, this person in their family that you feel this dark energy from, and the betrayal is what you go over in your mind. Yes, I'm in love with this person. Yes, they could be my soulmate. Yes, I want to be with them. But I can't if they're going to be hot and cold. If this person connected to us is always going to be some kind of influence over them, and I'm always going to be a lesser priority. How could I have a family with someone if they're putting other people in front of me, unless they heal this out with this awakening, because you're so tapped in and you think you can feel them going through this awakening, which they are, you're hoping that if they can heal these aspects about themselves, this deceitful side, this shady, sneaky side, this hot and cold, this nastiness, even, so say for instance, this shaman, this family member that's connected to your person, say it's a mother, and they've actively been doing things behind your back to keep you two apart. Part of their healing would be for them to realize not necessarily that they have to cut this person off, but that they have to set some serious boundaries. You know, it's at the forefront of your mind. Unless this person has these awakenings and does the healing work, it will never work. Compatible or not, it won't work if this person isn't willing to see the error of their ways, and also the people attached to them. The people and things attached to them need some adjustment. Hot and cold. Journal. So you could have been journaling a lot. You might be writing a book, but you're reflecting a lot on the behavior of this person. Again, how I went on that detour about if you were someone that was very sensitive and you cried or you got anxious, and that anxiety or your tears aggravated them more, made them more cold and became nasty. In reflection, you're thinking, I cannot be with someone who can't soothe my sensitivities. Someone who loves me will love me for all of me. If they love the sensitivity when it's loving them and nurturing them, they also need to accept the part of me that sometimes gets anxious or might cry, and they should soothe those things in me, not amplify them, not make them worse and become nasty. That's not... It's like someone is like, you're crying, and they're like, what are you crying for? Like, who does that? It's not something you need, but you union on the bottom. And the swans they mate for life. They're one of those animals that mate for life. I think you do see, neither of you got twin flame, but I do think that this is a twin flame energy. And I think that you're picking up what this person is going through right now. I think on both sides, you two are in love with each other. You both want to be with one another, but right now they're going through upgrades and you are picking up on what they're going through. You're picking up the physical symptoms, and I think you're aware of it, but I think you're very aware of the things attached to this person that make them not a good match for you. And for you, unless they can go through this awakening and truly heal some of these things out, because there is an element of healing when you're back together as well. There is still work to be done when you reunite, because it's having to build trust again and work through the triggers and things like that. But if they're not willing to do that, or if they're going to put you down, it'll never work as much as you want union with them. Alright, so I want to get some of these cards for advice. Listen, they might not have, like I said before, when it came to you, someone that they should take to heart what's being said and listen to your advice, one in, one ear, out the other. But everyone they shouldn't have been listening to is who they were actually listening to and taking their bad advice. Detach. So I think you've detached from the situation. Yes, you love this person, and yes, you are reflecting on the ways that they treated you, but it's almost like those things are helping you detach. You're remembering why they weren't a good partner, but so are they. So again, not only are you picking up the physical symptoms that they're going through, but you're actually picking up what they're thinking about. So even, for instance, say you get angry all of a sudden, or you're feeling really irritable about the smallest things, you might be picking up their anger that they're feeling towards themselves right now. Manifest. So you've got the High Priestess, you've got the Hierophant. So your intuition is really going off right now, but you're trying to manifest a new beginning for yourself, not just for like to be with your twin flame, but to have the life you want. And you might even be worried that that's on pause right now because you've been trying so hard to manifest the life you want, but then because you're having all these symptoms, you're feeling like it's making you feel a little bit lost. This feels more like not a union reading, but more of a check-in where you're at and where they're at right now on the journey. Coming together. Two of Cups. So I think this is more because this is advice. So I think refusing to see on the bottom, I think that's because that's reflecting this person's denial about this connection for a long time and doing all the things they were doing to distract themselves. But to me, there's so much love here between the two of you. Two of Cups is divine love. It's union. And that came out just after I said this isn't a union reading. It's more of just a check-in where the divine feminine is right now on her journey and where the masculine is on his journey. But I think for this to come out as advice, to me, your angels are saying this is the ultimate, like this person is meant to be in your life. Union is meant to happen, but detach from the outcome and keep working on your surroundings and what you're trying to manifest for yourself, your purpose, what brings you happiness outside of this connection. Part of your manifestations might be wanting a family with this person, and they're saying that this can happen. It's like you can create something really beautiful together, but keep working on yourself and what makes you happy and what brings you happiness and your own healing. And trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust that it's leading you towards the manifestations that you're trying to create. All right, let's get an oracle card to close this out. Harmony, find harmony in yourself. Closing messages, please. I wasn't always like this, you know. I had to create who I am. So you had to walk through the fire to become the person you are now. The Witch, Creatrix, Lotus Flower, Free Will. So you can make your life anything you want it to be. You could go meet someone new and have a life with someone else and walk away from your twin permanently. Or you can just keep focusing on you. If you meet someone, you meet someone. At the end of the day, it is what it is. As long as that person, you know, adds to your life and makes you happy. But in this situation, obviously, your twin is someone that's still heavily on your mind, that you have so much love for. You can decide which way you want to go, whether you want to meet someone new and move on from this, although they will always be attached to you, or whether you're just focusing on your own happiness and continuing your healing journey, and when they come in, it will be because they're ready to come in. All right, let's find the Witch. I'm on 37. All right, found it. The Witch, Creatrix, Lotus Flower, Hermit, Free Will. I am a powerful creator and alchemize who I am. In a world full of princesses, she is the Witch. This card is an omen that you have extra power to alter your fate at this time. You're the manifester. You're the magician. The Witch. to create something new for yourself and your life, to give yourself space from the world so you can do so, to go deeper and learn the ways of spirit. This is not the traditional hermit card, but is similar. This is the witch or creatrix card that tells us we are meant for greater things. We now have the power of the witch, the magic that can happen when she creates instead of destroys. The creatrix is the witch who lives alone, so you may live alone, who spends her time in solitude and is content to do so, perfecting the art of making potions, performing alchemy, drawing her visions and casting spells, discovering new ways of magic and just transcribing them into her own book. You did get journal, and maybe that shaman, I did say you'll find yourself in both parts. So the shaman is also you. You create magic. And maybe you do journal. Maybe you write down recipes even. There's something about you writing down things that you're creating. She is beautiful in a strange, dark, and unusual way. Though she couldn't care less about her appearance, she is the cat in the night and doesn't care to be seen. Occasionally, she offers magical aid or channels wisdom to a lost soul in need. She would rather not unless spirit insists or give her signs to do so. Then she will begrudgingly abide by that, helping the desperate wanderer who winds up at her door. Either it was their destiny to find her or they heard rumours of her beauty and power, so they went on a quest to find her, though she will reject all lovers because she deems them unworthy, until the day she meets a force as wild and magical as she, and even then she may still reject them. Spirit has become her greatest friend and is a strong force within her. The creatures of nature keep her company and alert her when others are near. She comes from a troubled past of which she does not speak, born in darkness and created from nothingness. The witch was doomed for life to be the hag of the swamp, the one who typically abandons good for evil, but instead she decided, who steals innocent souls to stay alive for centuries. But instead she decided to become something else, a secret third thing, a thing which up until now had not existed, the creatrix. Manifestation enhancer. You have the power of the witch at this time. Write down the spells you wish to cast upon your life and destiny. Light a candle and write 5 important intentions you would like to set for yourself, your life, the world, and or your loved ones. So this is just more confirmation. You create your reality. You are the queen that creates the kingdom that you want to rule over, or you're the witch that wants to create the life that you live. You might be someone that considers yourself more of an introvert, but when you do come across people that may be looking for advice, you are there to give it. But there is something about your magic, whether it is that you make herbal tinctures, for instance, or you bake, or you do magic. Maybe you do have spells, but there's something about you writing down, whether it's manifestation, spells, recipes, whatever, journaling, even if it's just your emotions. If you keep a diary every day of your emotions to see how they ebb and flow throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, noticing patterns and then learning how to work with your own magic and create your own magic when you recognize your own flow. Your own cycle, for instance, you might be really into moon phases and the whole, your period might line up with the moon cycles, which is how it's supposed to be. That was how the original calendar was. It followed the moon cycles, it wasn't 12 months, it was 13 months. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. So just tap into that energy and keep focusing on you. And when this person has worked through this dark night of the soul and they're ready to come forward, take accountability, put the work into the relationship, offer you something stable and secure, then they will. your angels won't release them to you until they are in that space that they can add to your life instead of taking from it, which I think was the issue in the past. So hopefully, if you needed that message today, it helped. And yeah, enjoy your day.